Amit Bharadwaj is joining us with more on that. So Amit, all the representatives currently inside the meeting is underway. Essentially, we're guessing that this won't be as long a huddle as the first one, because this time around, what we're hearing is that the government has told the wrestlers, think through what we told you in the last meeting and then communicate to us whether you're okay with our outreach or whether you want a different plan of action.
Right, Akshita, the meeting will just begin. The wrestlers have entered Anurag Thakur's residence. It includes Bajrang Punia, Ravi Dahiya and Vinesh Fogart, among other wrestlers as well. So it's a similar kind of delegation, if we can call it a delegation of sorts, that has went into Anurag Thakur's residence. The second round of conversation between the government, between the sports ministry officials and the protesting wrestlers will begin now. So it is to be seen whether this meeting gets over quickly, because all the available options have been in a way communicated to these protesting wrestlers already. They know for a matter of fact that the sports ministry cannot sack Mr. Brij Bhushan. However, there's another process which has already initiated now. Indian Olympic Association is holding a virtual meeting after the complaint which was formally filed with the IOA by these protesting wrestlers, which includes serious allegations of sexual harassment against Mr. Brij Bhushan, and along with that mental harassment, so much so that Vinesh Fogart was forced to contemplate suicide during the Olympics, for not getting a medal for the country. So these are really serious allegations. Now, what will happen inside the meeting? Most likely that the government officials will reiterate what are the options available in front of them, and that the IOA committee will investigate the entire matter. A 3-member committee could be formed as well to look into the allegations which have been put forward by these wrestlers. Until the time the committee does not give out its report, there's a possibility that Mr. Brij Bhushan could be asked to step aside, and this is also something that we were reporting on India Today last night as well, that a deadline of sorts has been given out to Brij Bhushan to step aside until the allegations.
But he's been rather defiant, coinciding interestingly with the timing of this meet that Amit and Milan are tracking for us. Brij Bhushan, the Wrestling Federation of India chief, his press conference, we're being told, could start any moment now. He's currently in Gonda in Uttar Pradesh. So is he going to resign? Is this happening coinciding with the meeting, because we're expecting some outcome and then he's going to step down? A big question mark on that. But there will be questions, Milan, about whether Brij Bhushan is willing to resign at all.
Well, Akshita, that's the question, but from statements that have come from Brij Bhushan Singh, it's clear that he has been absolutely defiant about the fact that his resignation does not really depend on whether what the sports ministry thinks, because technically, of course, the IOA and the WFI are both, bodies in their own regard, and they are committees where people are designated for. And the dismembering of the Wrestling Federation of India, not just at the national level.
Breaking news that's coming in, let me just announce this quickly, is that the Brij Bhushan press conference stands cancelled right now. So he is not going to be addressing the press. All this while we thought preparations were going on. He's going to get onto the stage anytime now. The information we have is that he is not going to be holding a press conference. Now, there will be questions about whether he's decided to call off this press conference because he's having no other choice but to step down. And so a miffed Brij Bhushan has said he will not interact with the media. But the big breaking news that's coming in right now is that the press conference stands cancelled. Amit, any update that you're picking up on that? Brij Bhushan's press conference not going to happen. Is it an indication of things to come that he's going to be resigning?
Yes, Akshita. In fact, there's a clarification which is also coming from Brij Bhushan's side that, there's a meet which is to happen in Gonda on 22nd of January. And before that, he's not going to speak to the media. Before that, he's not going to clarify on any of the allegations. So possibly he's also looking at what are the options available to him. He's possibly also looking at as to how IOA responds to the allegations and the complaint which has been formally, lodged with them. And along with that, what is the Union Sports Ministry's approach in the entire controversy? So all these chapters would be, there would be a sense of clarity at least after this meeting ends at Anurag Thakur Thakur's residence. That's what we can hope. And maybe, you know, by a day's time or by a day or two's time, what we can see is that there could be a complete clarity for even for Mr. Brij Bhushan whether he can save himself, because that could be the basic agenda of Mr. Brij Bhushan, to cancel the press conference right away. Remember, on 22nd of January, the WFI is to meet as well, and that meeting had been called after this controversy erupted and started to snowball within a day's time. So now the ball is also in WFI's court as to how they are going to react to all the developments, the controversy, the allegations which has been put forward by players who have been working hard day and out, have made the country feel proud on the international level. Now, the WFI will have to first, there has to be a detailed response which is to be submitted to the Sports Ministry as well. We are yet to get those details, whether the WFI has submitted that response, what are the answers and replies and responses in that particular letter which has been submitted, if at all, by the WFI. The second is that 22nd January is the big date